To me, I can't think of a more perfect villain than Doctor Doom. He's virtually one of the most nuanced characters in the Marvel Universe, in the sense that he is a villain that strives to be the best possible version of himself he can possibly be at all times. I mean, the whole reason Doom wears the metal getup in the first place is to cover up a small scar on the side of his face because he absolutely hates imperfection. So much so that he quite literally mangles his own face so to never have a reason to ever take off the mask ever again. It's like when a barber messes up your cut so bad you have to go bald, only the barber douses your head in gasoline, lights it on fire, and throws you through a goddamn wood chipper. It's both comical and especially tragic because his ego is his greatest weapon, but also his greatest weakness at the same time. If you pin a whole-ass Celestial against Doctor Doom, Doom would pull up to the fight somehow with power equal to a Celestial or perhaps more. And don't even get me started on the level of pettiness that Doctor Doom can reach, because this man lost his throne, worked his way back up to Latveria, riding on a fucking grizzly bear, and floated up to his old castle room, or whatever you want to call it, and met the new leader of Latveria, and was like, oh, you got a perfect face? Well, I'm gonna mess that up for you and reclaim my throne. That's just on a whole nother level of petty. Doom has faced up against some of the most powerful beings in the universe, like Mephisto for instance, to save his mother's soul. And when the devil himself told Doom to move, Doom planted his feet and told the devil, no, you move. Doom's ego knows no bounds, as he's known to have incredible scientific smarts akin to Mr. Fantastic, yet never accepts help from others, especially Mr. Fantastic. Due to viewing it as a sign of weakness, Doom can literally never accept the fact that he could ever be wrong or that someone could know better than him, which has led to his own downfall on numerous occasions. Yet, even when in the face of Doom itself, Doctor Doom somehow embraces it and laughs in the face of it. And I can't think of a more perfect representation of Doctor Doom than in the latest Doctor Doom comic that just came out only a few days ago, with one of the coldest openings using an MF Doom lyric. The lyric being "Living on Borrowed Time, the clock ticks faster," from the song Accordion. Essentially opening the story with Doom floating adrift in space, with his armor tattered, and he's utterly lifeless, with a robotic voice saying aloud, "We found him," spotting Doom's body floating through wreckage, seemingly in the aftermath of a huge battle. Arriving to his body in the spaceship, the robotic voice, which I'll spoil real quick, is Herbie, tells who's in the shuttle that Doom's body is showing that his vitals are almost undetectable, with no life support apparatus, and his body's as cold as space itself, asking the daughter of the Fantastic Four, Valeria, how he's even alive. To which Valeria says, "It's magic, dummy," before warping Doom's mangled body into the shuttle. Bringing Doom into the shuttle, Herbie tells Valeria that his body is horribly damaged and is going to need a lot of work done. Putting Doom in a stasis pod, Valeria comments, "Oh, uncle, look what he did to you." I just want to take a moment to comment on how much I love one-shots like these that drop you in a world with a whole ass other history that's just completely transpired, and you, the reader, are just kind of plopped in the middle of it, left to wonder how things turned out the way they did. It's just something that I really appreciate. But carrying on, Valeria tells Herbie that they need to find a place for Doom where he can heal and be nursed back to health till they can come up with their next plan. Because pretty much everywhere all across the galaxy is no bueno for them anymore. To which Herbie has the bright idea to fly their shuttle into the head of Doom's great Titan armor. Upon landing, Valeria checks Doom's vitals to find him growing stronger by the minute, so she commands Herbie to wake him up slowly, by reducing anesthetics, increasing oxygen levels, and injecting a bit of super soldier serum into his bloodstream. Waking up slowly, Doom is surprised to see Valeria's face as he asks Valeria what happened, to which Valeria tells Doom that he lost against Galactus. Watching Doom's Titan armor memory files, she replays the battle to Doom of his battle with Galactus, telling Doom that she double-checked all of his calculations, and on any other time he would have held his own against Galactus, but what Doom couldn't have anticipated was how relentless Galactus could truly be. For that, Doom assumed he could win alone, and was foolish to act so quickly. So Doom then asks how Mr. Fantastic and the other heroes held out against Galactus, to which Valeria simply says they were foolish to wait. Fighting Galactus, Doom assumed a universal constant like Galactus would remain constant, and that billions of years of consistent behavior would continue without change. Yet Doom was disabused of this notion, as Galactus obliterated Doom's magnificent Titan armor built to take down a god. Then what followed was the obliteration of his own body, where after Galactus continued forward throughout the galaxy. Galactus, to put it simply, is nothing if not an exercise in energy conservation. He moves slowly through the universe, coveting his energy, controlling his appetite. The universe had witnessed the World Eater both rampant and ravenous, but as it turns out, that's what defines him now, as Galactus has surrendered to the madness, to the hunger. And after Doom, Galactus did not stop. He raced from planet to planet, devouring all. Worlds fell, societies collapsed, whole civilizations were erased, as he ate world after world after world, till he inevitably made his way to Earth, where all of humanity made its last stand against the Great World Eater. When Doom and Mr. Fantastic first discovered what Galactus had been doing and where his eventual path would lead, the Earth's mightiest heroes decided to act, and Mr. Fantastic decided to do what he always does. He attempted to solve the problem. Thus, a great army had assembled, comprising of pretty much every single hero in the Marvel Universe, in which they all stood in the gap, faced the Great World Devourer, and Galactus destroyed them all. All of Earth's mightiest heroes never stood a chance. They had lost before the fight had even begun. After which Galactus left Earth a husk, an empty shell, a dead world where nothing would live again. That was 2 whole years ago, and since then, the universe has known nothing but torment and anguish. And Valeria had been looking for Doom the entire time Galactus had been running amok, destroying world after world in his wake. Taking in all that's transpired, Doom grumbles in shame and asks how Valeria managed to survive where all else had perished. Where Valeria basically says, "Oh, you know me, Uncle. I was never seduced by the short-term satisfaction of victory. I've always been more interested in survival, just like you."
No, Valeria. Doom does not survive. Doom endures.
This, I promise you, is only some of the first of many cold-ass lines Doom will deliver in this comic alone. He's like a mill of quotes, dropping banger after banger, minute by fucking minute. Anyway, Doom asks Valeria if they're the only ones left, and if anyone else stood in the World Eater's way. Where Valeria tells Doom that there were others like the Guardians of the Universe who assembled to take on Galactus, yet they fared no better than Earth's mightiest heroes, thus all fell. And now the only people left in the universe are standing inside a giant metal head. Doom demands for armor, yet Valeria tells him that he will need more than just armor. Doom's problem is his human biology cannot support what Valeria has built for him, giving Doom a vial of human plasma mixed with celestial blood to make him stronger than Doom ever thought possible. Beings weak and strong have faced up against the World Eater, and all have perished in his wake. But with Doom's new strength and his new armor made from Uru and Vibranium, both metals to serve the purpose of strength and durability, while the other serves as a conduit for the 3 cosmic cubes that power both him and the suit, Valeria simply asks Doom what he thinks, to which Doom says in return,
Doom is pleased.
Yet there is only one last thing to brush over involving Galactus. See, 2 days prior, Valeria watched a spiral galaxy eat a broken nebula, and it looked completely unremarkable compared to what Galactus had accomplished. Because Galactus pulled up to the Celestials' front door pretty much to square up against them all. See, Galactus by this point is overflowing to the brim with the power of hundreds of devoured planets, and he's going to war with celestial gods. When the battle took place, their fight shook the heavens as they fought, and it was a terrifying sight. Watching Galactus slay an entire bloody pantheon in only moments, with Valeria asking who would do such a thing? Who could do such a thing? Look if you dare, Uncle. The answer is Galactus. See, the reason Galactus wiped out the Celestials was to ensure the taking of a celestial machine called the Ultimate Nullifier. But it isn't like any regular nullifier. This one Galactus has in his possession is a machine worthy of killing and creating a new universe, killing the one they're in to make way for a brand new one. Doom theorizes that Galactus may have grown tired of his role to devour worlds, waiting till the end of time to witness the end of one universe and the beginning of another born from destruction. So he's simply going to replace everything, and for that, Doom and Valeria have to stop Galactus. However, that is easier said than done, as Galactus possesses 3 heralds, each with insurmountable power. The 3 of them, for example, being Mullet-Men, who are quite literally too OP, as they can do virtually anything with powers akin to Dr. Manhattan to use as a reference. The odds were slim before, but putting that into the equation as well makes the situation that much more hopeless. With the plan being for Doom to take on the Mullet-Men, distract Galactus, and for Valeria to somehow destroy the ultimate nullifier and then go from there. With Valeria saying to Doom that she hopes he's strong enough. With Doom dropping another banger line,
Strong enough? At my weakest, I am strong enough to take on any foe, even should it be my end.
Shit's on par with Kratos' "death can have me when it has earned me" quote, I swear to God. Arriving to face off against the Heralds of Galactus, Doom begins to say his final words. That for most, everything ends in regret. And such regret leads to particular questions like, how did it come to this? Where did things go wrong? Could it have been prevented? And most of all, how did we not see this coming? Fighting against vicious energy blasts that'd take out anything less than a god, Doom continues that for some, they argue that the right person at the right time could have prevented what happened. Doom knows the folly of this thinking all too well. But when the end comes, there will always be the desperate cries of what if. And as a tyrant, as a despot, as a ruler of men, Doom has heard all the questions the damned surely do ask, because they think that civilization could have been saved, that the Empire could have been maintained, but they do not understand the nature of the universe, the infinite finite, the endless end. Bursting with limitless cosmic energy, Doom plants himself in the fight of his life with only one goal in mind: survive. Manipulating his newfound energy to turn these once astonishing heralds of Galactus into nothing more than useless pawns, recalling that the damned will always pray for a miracle. And why wouldn't they? Doom has proved no small number of them, but they pray for someone to hold up something that is already collapsing around them. A god came to Earth and judged it. Galactus judged the Earth and every other planet that exists, and he deemed that we were not worth saving. Manipulating the molecule men like puppets, he warps their bodies down to the very atoms that make them who they are till they'd resemble nothing but dust, stating that the damned still pray for someone to save us, but one cannot save what is already lost. So I beg you, take a moment and think about all the things that are gone, but more than that, what we still have to lose. After the dreadful battle, Doom asks if Valeria can hear him. Valeria acknowledges Doom and tells him that she's reached the nullifier, yet there isn't a way to shut it down, as Galactus has already commenced the process. Yet Valeria still refuses to give up, figuring out that there is in fact a way to stop the machine, but at the cost of her life. Going through with it anyway. Reaching Doom one final time before detonation, Valeria tells Doom that he always protected her, looked after her, and for that she wanted him to know she loved him for that, as she detonates the device. Enraging Galactus, Doom goes on to say that one day, what you may have now will be taken from you. Then you will look back on the moments you lived, judging yourself on whether or not you did so adequately. Continuing to flow to the brim with energy, reaching down to every ounce of power Doom can possibly muster, catching the attention of Galactus, Doom continues to say that how he feels is not nihilism. It is only certainty, and we know it in our bones this day will come. Looking back on every single stepping stone that led to this very moment, every pivotal decision, every interaction, every relationship along the way amounting to this moment, Doom accepts that life ends for all of us. So accept it, with head held high, refusing to be judged by what gods remain in the universe, and unscarred by whatever sins lie in your past. When all that remains is one final moment of defiance, embrace Doom and laugh in its face. Ending the story. If it wasn't clear, this story is a spin on the great tale of David and Goliath. David was a small man that had appeared to be incapable of taking down a tall, burly man such as Goliath. No one ever dared to face Goliath except for David, possessing only a sling and a few measly stones. Yet despite the odds, David expressed enough resolve to finish Goliath by hitting him with only but a stone, killing Goliath. A little detail that I also can't help but point out that may or not be intentional, but more than likely is the pair even have the same initials, DG. David and Goliath, Doom and Galactus. To me, there's so much nuance behind this comic. So many layers to the character of Doom that are just perfectly represented in this one-shot comic. Hickman just understands Dr. Doom, and if you don't believe me, just do yourself a favor and read Hickman's Fantastic Four or Secret Wars, whichever. And I bet you he'll become your favorite Doom slash Fantastic Four writer. I swear. It's just the ability to put the reader in the middle of this story that feels like it has so much history left untold, and to perfectly convey the most pivotal points and establish the stakes in a way where it doesn't feel like the typical, oh, everyone dies except this one character story, which after a while kind of gets a little old and a little played out, feels like a breath of fresh air to that type of comic book genre. It's the single best Doctor Doom comic I think I've ever read, and if you can, I'd suggest getting a physical copy yourself and reading it.
The glazing is crazy.
Shut the fuck up, it's motherfucking Doctor Doom! Also, I wanted to announce that on the 25th of this month, I'll be taking part in a charity stream filled with many other comic book YouTubers you'll more than likely be familiar with, like Amazing PSM, Godzilla Mendoza, Linkara, Comic Tropes, Comic Drake, Alex Lennon, Nando V Movies, and like a cajillion more other comic book YouTubers all coming together for a charity stream event called Comics for the Cure. We're all clamoring together to support the Cancer Research Institute with a donation goal of $5,000. The link for the donation site will be in the description, same with where the stream will be held, and I'd really appreciate any of you to throw anything you have towards this cause, as it'd mean not just a lot for me or other YouTubers in the stream, but also for those either with cancer or with loved ones who may have it as well. Cancer's a bitch, and like Doom, we will endure it and come out of it stronger. With that, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Check out my Twitter. Stay tuned for that stream coming up. You better fucking be there. And as always, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.